We've got no choice. Call the Ghostbusters.
Vigo, the scourge of Carpathia, the sorrow of Moldavia, command you.
Oh, command me, Lord!
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Hudson Valley Slime Time. My name is Jason, and not only am I one of your hosts, but I'm also the marketing director for the Hudson Valley Ghostbusters. And I'm joined here with my co-host, Matt.
Hello again, everybody. Yes, my name is Matt. I am a co-founder and executive director of Hudson Valley Ghostbusters. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. If you'd like to find out more about what that is and you want to suffer through our first episode, go check that out. You can find all the boring details about what goes into being a 501c3.
They can also go into our second and third episodes. You know, we have it in a couple episodes, so not just
That's
the
true.
one.
That's true.
Yes, and we're also joined tonight with Corey and Connor. Hello, guys. Thanks for coming. You can wave. You can also say hi.
Is this thing on?
We have audio too, so
Thanks for having me. I'm a huge fan of the podcast.
You're our subscriber?
I'm your one subscriber.
All right. Well, how about our one subscriber? You know, Corey, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself there?
Yeah. Well, hello. I'm Corey. I have been with the Hudson Valley Ghostbusters for over 2 years now. I first saw the group at Saratoga Comic years ago when I was just cosplaying. I don't remember what I was that day, but I remember seeing you guys. I took a picture with the truck, and then during COVID, I decided to build my first proton pack, spirit pack, for the new movie that was coming out. And then I was like, wait, I remember seeing a group that does Ghostbusters, and then looked into you guys, and the rest is history.
Ta-da! Awesome. Hey, we're glad to have you. It's been a fun couple years.
Yes, you've been a great addition to the team.
Thank you.
And now for our youngest member of the force, Connor. How about you? You want to tell the folks a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Connor. I'm 15. Sophomore in high school. I first met the Hudson Valley Ghostbusters last year at Fandom Fest. I was there cosplaying as a Ghostbuster, ironically, and I ran into you guys, and I remember distinctly I was there looking at the Ecto one that they had on display, and Corey walked in and was like, dude, you missed orientation. So I walked up to the table, and I took a green screen photo, which I have hanging on my wall over there, and then I looked at Matt, I believe, and I said, yo, how do I get involved with this? He gave us a business card, and he said, there's a form you can fill out. And I stood in front of the table, and I filled it out right in front of him, which was kind of awkward, but...
I will always remember that, actually, till the day I die. The only member who filled out an application in front of me.
And I've been an official member for about like a month and a half now, so happy to be a part of the team.
Yeah. Welcome aboard. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, glad to have you. Hopefully it's been a fun ride so far.
Oh, yeah. Very fun.
Guess you want to talk about what we've been doing so far. We've had a pretty busy April and beginning of May anyway. We've had several events. One of the ones that I did, I know Matt was away on vacation having fun. I think you were on a cruise or something. But, we were down in Fishkill at the All Sport on April 27th. We were down there raising money for CARE of Dutchess County, which is the Compassionate Animal Rescue Efforts. It was kind of cool. We were all set up out in the parking lot. We actually had a beautiful day, which is kind of rare, especially this time of year. We usually get a lot of rain. But it was a beautiful day. We actually raised a little over $300 for CARE, making slimes and having fun. It was pretty cool. Want to talk a little bit about our next event there, Matt, what we did?
Yes. Just this past weekend, May 4th and 5th, we were at Saratoga Comic again, back for the 5th time, I think it is now. and we were raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and we're still tallying final numbers, but we are somewhere over $1,000 total that we raised over the weekend, which is excellent for us. That was a great event. If you would like any more information about the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, you can go to their website at afsp.org, or you can text 988 or text TALK to 71741.
Yeah, and like I said, don't worry. I'll make sure I have future me, our producer, add some text somewhere over here, up there. We'll have him decide, and we'll put that on the screen so everybody can see it. They don't have to keep replaying it to catch everything. Yeah, no, Saratoga was awesome. I mean, it always is. We always have a great time up there.
Yeah, we do.
And I think this event actually was the first time where we did more pictures than we did slime, which is kind of unusual. Usually,
that's very unusual. Slime is our best seller usually.
Yeah. No, everybody wanted pictures this weekend, and it kept Corey very busy.
Maybe too busy.
It went great.
As our seasoned photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it went smooth. It was awesome.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And the other thing I wanted to talk about with Saratoga is it always amazes me because it seems like the past several events, we always seem to get at least one other vendor there to kind of come up to us and give us a donation. Like he's like, here's some pops, or I think this past weekend we had an artist give us some really cool Ghostbuster prints that he had drawn up and stuff like that to that we can add to our silent auction next time. And it's stuff like that really it makes me smile and happy that other people are helping us out, especially with our, what we do.
Yeah, I'm always very happy to see the generosity of people when they find out what we're doing, who we're fundraising for at events like that. It does make me smile as well.
Yeah. Hey, we even made the news this past weekend on Saratoga, so that was kind of cool too.
Well, you made the news. Every time they showed up, I was gone.
Hey, in my defense, this is the first time. I mean, we've been lucky and had several news interviews in the past, and this is the first one where I got to be centered, so it was kind of cool.
That is very well. We're going to move your office out of the restroom.
Well, the funny part is like I think there was a total of like maybe 15 seconds of me and I think I recorded several minutes, so there was a lot of editing to make me look good.
It was your literal 15 seconds of fame.
Exactly. Yes, it was. Still well worth it. It was a lot of fun. We also have our next month is actually turning out to be busy. We'll actually have, was it May 11th? Us this weekend, isn't it? Yeah.
That is this coming weekend, May 11th. Yeah. So by the time this podcast airs, it'll already be done.
Yes. We actually have a joint event with the New York City Ghostbusters down at Yankee Stadium. We're going to, I don't know how many, but we are going to have some members travel down and help the New York City Ghostbusters out.
And if I recall correctly, that is for the Bronx Science Museum. We're going to be helping out with NYC's Slime Lab.
So that should be pretty cool. Ghostbusters at Yankee Stadium. I'm a Mets fan, so I won't talk too much about it. But then,
I don't follow the sports balls.
Yep, they can do the things and score the points or whatever they do.
So that'll wrap up. I think we don't have anything else in May, I believe.
That is June. It for May. Our May is a little late.
Yes, but June is filling up pretty quickly.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Being Pride Month thing, I got my Pride hat here that I got from our store at Redbubble. So, yeah, make sure you go to Redbubble and pick up some cool Pride gear for Pride Month, because we're going to have some parades and stuff that we'll probably be doing, which will be a lot of fun. Looks like we might be doing a parade in New Paltz. I think we're going to go ahead and do that I think that was on June 1st.
Yes.
So that we got Pride Parade June 1st in New Paltz. And then a week later, we're going to have Ghostbusters Day, the big 40th anniversary of the original movie. We are going to be going down to New York City, again, with the New York City Ghostbusters, Buffalo Ghostbusters, and countless
every other Ghostbuster in the area.
And then some, because, they travel from around the country to come. But everybody's going to be down at the firehouse celebrating the 40th anniversary of the original release of the first movie.
Yeah, that is hosted by Buffalo Ghostbusters, and they have some exciting guests lined up to be there. They have several ectomobiles lined up to be there. It's going to be like all out, nothing held back for this one.
Ghostbusters partying in the streets in New York City. Corey, you going to be trying to get down to that, or yeah? How about you, Connor? Are you going to skip? No, it's on a Saturday.
I'm actually going to be halfway across the world at that exact point in time.
Ooh, well, I guess that's not a bad place to be then.
I'm going to France. We are going down there on June 4th, getting back on June 11th. But I don't think we have anything scheduled on June 8th. And I made specific, very clear instructions that I need a room with the TV because I'm bringing the DVD with me. I'm not missing out.
There you go.
I'm sure you can watch it on your phone. I'm sure a lot of the stuff will be live streamed and everything.
Yeah, I'll be looking for you. I'll be sending screenshots.
There's the guys. There they are. Yeah, I didn't get to go last year, but I'm hoping to get down for it this year.
Yeah, hoping at some point in my future I can get down there.
Yeah, last year was my first
Try
time.
to
And
get down.
yeah,
You're
it
trying.
was awesome.
You're not sure if you're going to be going, Matt?
Well, Ghostbuster Day also happens to be my wedding anniversary.
That's
So,
true.
Last year was year 5, so maybe it's year 6. I can say, I mean, it's 40 years versus like 6 years.
Make sure you word that properly.
No, I don't think Tara watches these.
Famous last words.
So after Ghostbuster Day, like I said, we have a busy month. June 15th, we'll be participating at the Monroe Food Truck Festival. Guess we'll have. Do you have any more information on that, Matt? Or I think it goes from 11 to 5.
I think we will be there from 11 to 5. I think it actually goes from 11 to 7, if I recall. And that is in the town of Monroe in Orange County at Orange and Rockland Park. Same place it's been for like the last 5-6 years. That's always a good event for us, too. We have a lot of fun there.
It's because there's a lot of food trucks.
Well, I wasn't gonna
Where
say
there's
it, but-
food, there's happy Ghostbusters. You know, I found the food drive logo that Matt had created years ago, so we can we can create that. Fed Ghostbusters, a happy Ghostbuster, or something like that.
Yeah, I can take our logo and transform it into anything you want. Just give me ideas. I'll find some time to make our logo a variation.
We got quite a few. Again, they're all on Redbubble. You can get our T-shirts and just type in HVGB in the search bar, and they'll all pop right up.
You might even find an image of his
Yes,
face on it.
yes, we do. They're a big hit. We have a full line of Corey gear.
Oh, God, I wish I had a sticker nearby. Yeah, I love the Corey stickers.
You have all. I brought all the stickers with me and I left them there, so you got them all now.
Yep,
I am very tempted to get the shower curtain and just wait for my wife to find it.
There's a bath mat too, you know.
Okay.
And I think a duvet cover, maybe some pillowcases.
There's, yeah, you can get the wall clock. You can decorate a whole room with you.
You're gonna have the Corey cave.
Oh my
Next
god!
time I'm on the podcast, you'll just see all the merch everywhere.
I will look forward to that. Oh boy! And then so then once again we have another Pride Parade lined up. The Out Hudson Parade. That'll be second year. Or did we do it?
Yep, that'll be the second year we've done that.
This will be the second year we do the Out Hudson Parade in Hudson, New York on June 22nd. It's a fun parade to be a part of. Because of June and being Pride Month, we try to do a lot of Pride work, and usually all our donations that we gather during the month of June usually go to the Trevor Project.
Yeah, and we have 1 or 2 more other events, possibly Pride related, that we're looking to get nailed down for the month of June, so just keep an eye on our calendar.
Yes, and Corey, where can they find that calendar?
That would be on hvgb.org.
All right, good answer. Good answer. I didn't tell you guys that there was going to be pop quizzes in the middle of this interview, so there's a test. So far, you're doing good. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we have lined up so far for the end of May and all of June. But like Matt said, keep an eye out on our calendar, on our website, because things pop up all the time. We get last minute requests, and you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, so now this episode, we're looking to discuss some of our gear. A lot of us have, well, I shouldn't say a lot of us, pretty much all of us have put a lot of work, a lot of tears, a lot of blood,
A lot of money.
a lot of money.
I'll say too much money.
Don't talk about the money.
Corey's given a nice close up of his ecto goggles there. So we figured what better thing to talk about than some of our nice light shiny gear, pretty colors. Yes. What's a Ghostbuster without his proton
Running
pack?
away.
Get her, Ray.
Who are you gonna call? Not me.
Somebody else.
Corey, you've been working on your pack for quite a while now. Sure, you got some good
Indeed.
stories to tell about it.
Yeah, what has it been? 2 years now since you started it?
Yeah, it's about a 2-year project. Most of that was just collecting parts. Started with my Spirit Halloween pack. Just learned so much from doing that. It's a gateway drug for sure. I had made some things here and there, but I never really made a prop before, so that's a great learning platform for sure. In a lot of ways, modifying a kind of a mass market thing like that is in some ways harder than building it from scratch. I definitely learned a ton. Just loved the whole process so much. I knew I had to do more, so around the time I finished my Spirit pack, well, it's never finished, I should say that, but you're always working on stuff. But the HasLab Spangler pack was coming out with the crowdfunding campaign, and I wanted that so bad, but I'm like, I really want the experience of building it, so I'm like, I'm gonna commit to something crazy and build a pack from scratch. So yep, a lot of weird requests for Christmas presents, birthday presents.
That would definitely be interesting.
My wife, when she gave me the bumper for my pack here on the shock mount, she's like, well, here's a spring and a black thing. I have no idea what I'm giving you, and I was like over the moon, like jumping excited, and she's like, okay.
I have no idea what it is, but it's making you happy.
I'm like, just wait. And as soon as it was actually installed on my pack, I'm like, see? And she's like, okay, I get it.
I still don't know what it is, but
It makes you happy, so I'm happy.
Yep.
But like you said, you also made yours from scratch, and so that was a whole new process too, with you learning how to 3D print and all that, right?
Yeah. Actually, so really, my Ecto goggles here, this was really the first thing I built from scratch. I basically learned how to resin 3D print to do it. I discovered early on that I really hate sanding 3D prints, like really, really hate it.
it is a terrible process.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, I guess there's less sanding with resin 3D printing, even though there's a host of other problems and messes and stuff with it. But for me, it was worth it to not have to sand so much. So I learned how to 3D print and did that. I'm sure we'll show pictures on the screen. Future you, Jeff.
Future me. Take note. Once
We'll
we
have some beauty shots of it.
put some pictures.
But,
no, don't put the picture over top of Corey. We want to see. Yep. There you go.
can.
Move in the middle. Move in the middle.
It's prettier than this, so for sure. But yeah, so this was a lot, a huge learning experience building the Ecto goggles, and all that time I was working on the pack. But like I said before, most of that time was collecting parts and starting to 3D print everything. I have pictures of everything laid out on my floor, and it's just like this crazy, daunting prospect of making that a proton pack. But I succeeded. So.
Yeah, well, I know we followed the process and all your updates, over the past couple of years, and we all finally got to experience it and see it in person past weekend up in Saratoga.
I think I think the first thing I remarked on was the weight. It is heavy.
Yeah, and I didn't try to make it heavy, obviously, but it's very much sort of, well, say inspired, built like one of the original props. The main body of it is a fiberglass shell that was made by Positron Props. Tom Morris is his name, and that guy is an artist. Like he his shell looks like it's a mold from the original prop, but it actually isn't. He down to every wood grain and chip in the paint and wonkiness he did himself. So I have to give him tons of credit because that's what my whole thing was built off of, obviously. So, and he is an awesome guy. He literally did several video calls with me just to go over like painting stuff. And he was super cool and willing to like teach and stuff. So really great guy. And he also made the aluminum motherboard and the end filter as well. So that was a huge step in getting it built, obviously. So
That's cool. Yeah, and we've talked about that in the past. It's like the people within the Ghostbusters community. It's so nice that you can reach out to each other, and everybody is so willing to help and assist in any way that they possibly can.
I mean, it's like the coolest community ever. You gotta read the room sometimes in forums or whatnot. If you
just don't mention certain movies or.
Well, just if you have a question, it's always encouraged to do a search first to see if it's been answered 50 million times before you asked it and stuff like that. So. That's something I learned.
Yes, which is totally understandable because I'm in a bunch of different forums, not just Ghostbusters, but other topics. And somebody will say, "Oh, ABC," and then like 10 minutes later, somebody will be like, "Hey, does anybody know anything about ABC?" Like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, actually, it's the next post right above yours, or something. So, yeah.
Yeah. If I had a question that I'm sure somebody's already asked, but I couldn't find it, I always started the phrase with, "I did a search and I couldn't find it. Could you help me with this?" Just to prove that I didn't just lazily type. How do I do this? So.
Yep. No, totally understandable. Amazing work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful build.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I had tried really, really hard to get it done for Frozen Empire, the movie premiere, but that didn't quite work out. But it gave me an extra 5 weeks because then my next goal was Saratoga Comic Con. So. It's funny looking back on it. It's cute that I thought I could get it done for Frozen Empire because I had so much to do that I had no clue that all the little things that you don't realize needs to be done. So, particularly the Neutrona wand. Everyone was like, "That's the hardest part," and they were not lying on that front. So,
right,
that's a lot of electronics in a very small space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very small, delicate wires, all kinds. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm a crazy person, and I wanted to do the full pop mechanism and front twist, and that really kicked my butt. But I finally got it to work. So.
Yeah. Typical Ghostbuster though. It's like, why do it a little bit when I can go off the deep end and go all the way? It's like, if you're gonna do it, go big.
Exactly. I figure I've got this far. I might as well just add all the bells and whistles. So.
I mean, you didn't talk about your trap at all. That's also a.
Oh yeah, it's your trap.
Yeah, I can talk about that. I actually have the smoke machine right here. Let's see. So we can see in the background here, my current trap has actually started life as I call it, the Walmart trap. It's basically the Spirit Halloween trap, but that one that they released had a pedal as well, so it actually had a servo in it. Well, not a servo, but an electric motor to open the door. So that's what I started out life as, kind of heavily modified it. And then I did actually build the pedal from scratch as well. Well, that was from a kit. That was before I had a 3D printer. So, and that's always a fan favorite because I was able to fit a micro fog machine in there. So always fun.
I do
didn't take it.
I do get a kick out of people not expecting it when you turn the smoke machine on. It's just sitting on the table and it just starts smoking.
That's the best part. We always tell kids, like, "Oh, be careful! Don't get too close. We just caught a ghost," and they will jump back and look at it.
Yep, they will. It's funny.
It's so funny.
Awesome work, man. I love seeing your gear.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always wonder how you're going to keep topping yourself. Because it was the accurate smoking trap. Now it's the accurate proton pack, the goggles. Like, I don't know, what's next?
He's building an Ecto. He's building a full size
firehouse
accurate Ecto, and the firehouse, and he's not telling us until he's done.
No, so I don't.
Yeah, he's gonna send photos to the group, like just a pile of bricks. Like, oh, guess what I'm building?
I'm printing it one brick at a time.
I'm gonna collect the bricks for about 20 years, but I'll get there. So, yeah, so I don't have a sports hero like many people. So my hero is Adam Savage, of course, previously of MythBusters and currently YouTube's Tested channel. I blame him for my obsession with screen accuracy. So, and again, what's the best thing about the Ghostbusters community is, I mean, you're always going to find it in any fandom, but for the most part, people are not gatekeepers. And I mean, especially nobody in this group certainly are not gatekeepers about props and stuff, which is awesome. So you can be as screen accurate or as custom or anything as you want. And I think that's so cool. Me personally, I just get a kick out of like poring over pictures for hours and seeing like, oh, well, Ray had, this type of screw in the goggles, and well, in this scene it was actually broken off. So you have to decide what scene you want to make, and it's fun for me. It keeps my mind going. So.
Right.
But that's what I set out for with my scratch build proton pack. Kind of 1984 inspired, although I do have Afterlife and electronics in there, just because I love that effect of the spinning cyclotron. So it's not a replica of any one person's pack. It's still my own, but I tried to make it as screen accurate as I could. So, and that's just fun for me. But that's what I like to do. So
to each his own, man.
And I also wanted an experience. You mentioned how heavy it was. Again, I wasn't trying to make it heavy because some people go like all aluminum parts, and I was trying to keep it a little more budget friendly. So a lot of parts of my pack are resin 3D printed, which I imagine saved some weight, but it's still crazy heavy. So, but there's a lot of metal on the thrower. But as Adam Savage always says, he wants an experience when he holds a prop. So I kind of wanted to, be as close to the real thing as possible. So.
Well, yeah, again, that goes to the screen accuracy. I mean, how many scenes did you see them, sliding the gurney out of the back of the Ecto and then putting the packs on and just like, struggling and like, so you wanted that experience.
And you guys all got to see me do that at Saratoga Comic. I'm trying to put it on. Like, oh God!
Hold him up. Make sure he doesn't tip over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I even got the experience of doing a screen accurate holding the pack so you could put it on like a backpack.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, that is, and obviously you see him do that in the movie multiple times, and it is so much easier.
All right, well, thanks, Corey, man. That's awesome. Keep it up. Problem. Can't wait to see the next thing you dive into.
We do have another scratch build in the process. So you have to tune in next time to find out what.
Very cool. All right.
Hang on.
But it's your.
I was just gonna say. All right, Connor, how do you want to talk to tell us about?
I'll be down soon.
This is all staying in, by the way.
Are you ready, Connor?
Yes, sorry.
I literally was just gonna say, "Hey, Connor, do you want to talk to us about your gear?" And like, wait 1 minute. All right, we'll wait. But all right, here we'll. All right, Connor, you want to talk to us about your gear and what you've?
Yeah, sure. So I started off about 2, maybe 3, 4 years ago, and I built and this was right after I saw the original movie. Unfortunately, I waited that long in life, but I built a cardboard proton pack out of an old Amazon box and a paper plate, and my God, I was so proud of myself. And looking back at it, I'm slightly cringing at all the details that I have really terribly missed, but I mean, it's all good. It's all is fair in loving proton packs.
Yeah, I mean, you showed us some pictures of it at Saratoga the other day, and it's nothing to
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, I think Future Jay's going to put him up on the screen now.
Hopefully, he puts them in the right spot this time.
Yeah, of course you are.
But I mean, I would.
And then
Be proud of that stuff, man. That's actually amazing work.
Yeah, and then last year, I was friends with this one guy, and he and I both love Ghostbusters. And one day, I forget which one of us said it. I think it was me. And I was like, dude, what if we were Ghostbusters for Halloween and we built like the stuff? And he looked at me and was like, yeah. So I met up at his house, and we stayed after school for like a week straight at his house. Like just like every day after school, went there, and we built. We followed some templates, and we built like foam and cardboard mixed proton packs. At that point in time, I already had the Spengler wand, so I didn't have to build a wand, which I'm very thankful for. But so I did that, and I was constantly adding and modding to that. And I heard about like they were doing like the run of the Spengler packs. So immediately I looked at my parents and I was like, it looks nice. It looks nice. And they were like, it does look nice. And about 4 months after Halloween, so February, I still have the video on my phone. My dad we were all eating dinner downstairs, and he had had a big box in front of him, and I was like, oh, what's this? And he was like, well, it's for you. I have two of them. One's for me, one's for you. He's like, you can open it up. And I opened it up, and sure enough, it was the Spengler pack, and I hit, in the world of music, which I'm a part of, I hit notes that should not be reachable to the human ears. Like I was like, what's this? And then it was just, yes, yeah, pretty much. And literally the next morning, I have picture proof. But my school, I have to be in there at like 7:30, so the bus leaves at 6:30, and I have pictures from 5:45 the next morning of me attaching the Alice frame because I was so eager to do it, and it was so funny. But then I was like, okay, it's a good base foundation. For like a week, I left it alone, and I was like, it's really nice. And then after a week, I was like, it needs some touch-ups. So then I spent a good 8-9 months transforming it into a really, really, really old proton pack. So that was fun. And clearly it is not that anymore. Cue picture future J. But about after I saw Frozen Empire, I was like, well, they've got new packs. They're not really using the old ones. I might as well try to convert it. And my parents came home one day, and I was downstairs in the basement with 4 cans of spray paint, and my pack was split open, like parts just laid out, and they were like, what are you doing? and I said to them, and I quote, trust the process. And little did I know the money hole that I had just dug for myself. But for about like a month and a half now, I've been working on transforming my pack to as close as an 84 I can get without going all out. So I did like a new paint job. I used hot glue for some fake welds. I made my pack rechargeable, which was fantastic because I hated buying new batteries. And I just put a bunch of like real wires, real labels. Just been adding slowly and slowly and slowly. My most recent thing that I did, and I'm sure Jay will put another future picture up there, but I recreated a ribbon cable with the stock ribbon cable, which I am really proud of because I just got bored one day.
That's some amazing work. That looks great.
I was blown away by that.
I was just bored one day. I came home from school and I was looking at my pack, and I was looking on like eBay or Etsy on my phone, and I was like, $50, and I looked at the pictures, and I was like, well, there's some stuff there. I could make this work. So I just walked over, and within 2 seconds, my pack looked nice, and then there was no ribbon cable, and it was split in half in my hand, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I pieced it all back together in under an hour, and I'm really proud of myself. But we've come a long way in the land of ghostbusting. There's been a lot of time and money, and like Jay said, blood, sweat, and tears put into all these things. But it's been a fun journey. And since I started that, I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. 3D printed my ecto goggles. Bought and repainted the Regal trap, which is pretty fun. And I've just been going off from there. My latest journey. I got the Matty Collector's PKE meter a while ago, and I modified it and I made it look very old. So now I'm deciding, kind of tossing and turning, if I want to restore it to the 84 glory or if I leave it as is. I don't know, but I'll figure that out when I get there.
Well, Connor, I remember when we met you at Fandom Fest, you actually the one that inspired me to dirty up my jumpsuit. Before that I was like, I don't think I could ever do that. Like it just looks so good, nice and clean. And then when I saw yours all dirtied up, I'm like, that does look pretty good. So I went ahead and gave that a try too. So
not just the equipment, but the suits. I remember that too. Yeah, looked very seasoned.
In the past year, there have been 3 jumpsuits because someone keeps on growing. My last one I literally bought 2 months ago, and then I got this one about 1 month ago, and I'm scared for next month. So
buy it big and grow into it.
Yeah, this one's pretty big. So
I haven't grown up in many, many years, so I don't have that problem. But
yeah, see, I have the opposite problem. When I buy a suit, I have to hem the legs up because they're too long.
Yeah.
I'm more wide than I am tall, I think, so it's kind of awkward.
It's an interesting journey for everything Ghostbusting. It's never how you planned it out to be. It's just the way it goes.
When you're done, it always ends up being,
when you're
amazing.
Done, it's yeah.
Well, if
when
you're
do you
ever
get
done?
You're never done though.
Yeah, you're never done. You're always finding new things. Last night I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? It needs more zip ties. And I got more zip ties and I stuck them on. And I was looking at it 20 minutes ago and I was like, you know what? I need to fix the Alice frame. These things pop in your brain, and everyone in the Ghostbusters community just all thinks the same things. And they're like, I want to do that. I can do that. $200 in life, and 17 hours later, they're like, yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll spend a lot of time on our packs or gear or whatever, and we'll show up at an event. Yeah, look what I did, and then then Corey shows up and he's like, look what I did, and you're like, oh man, all right,
yeah,
back to
yeah. Corey showed me his. Corey showed me his this past weekend. He showed me his this past weekend and hands me this.
There's more ideas. I guess I got to do some of this and tweak this. And
Corey hands me his wand, and it's like 5 pounds. I'm like, Jesus. And he's then struggling to put it on. I'm like, oh, hang on. Do you want help? And he's like, yeah, sure. I lift the thing. I'm like, oh my God.
No, Corey's
and then you walked around with it.
Corey's going to be buff like young Arnold Schwarzenegger in a couple of years from wearing his pack.
Just going to have more back
must do
problems.
Muscular squat thrust with your pack on. Squat down, touch your toes.
We had a kid at Saratoga Comic Con. I think he was about 10 years old, and he was dressed as a Ghostbuster. He was so excited to see us.
He was our biggest fan. He was great.
Yeah,
he stayed at our booth most of the day on Sunday.
Oh, he was great.
And we kept coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything.
His poor grandmother was tired of us, but.
Well, the thought crossed my mind. I'm like, I'm going to see if he wants to try on my pack. And I'm like, actually, no, I think he'll just fall over backwards.
It weighed more than he does.
Just let him hold the wand, and you keep your hands underneath it.
Yeah. He held the thrower and was very excited, but I didn't offer to put on the pack.
I don't know how you managed with that much weight. If you had handed that to like any other kid who wasn't expecting it, you would have been like.
Well, if you've seen the size of the crate he has to put it in, we could practically set up our booth in there.
Oh, that's a whole nother story. I have a tiny clown car, and I bought the case because it's like one of the only ones that'll fit a pack side by the pack and the wand, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be great. Never bothered to check if it would fit in my car. Wouldn't go in my trunk, wouldn't go in the front seat. I found one way that I can hoist it up, put it to the side, and push it straight into my back seat, and it covers the windows and everything. So I did it, but it wasn't easy.
And you're gonna have building an ectomobile.
You're gonna have to put a trailer hitch on the back of your car, and then get one of those ramps that people get for like their little rascals. When you get older and they're riding those carts, you'll be able to just pull it up onto that in the back of your. Of course, then your car is going to be doing wheelies going down the road because of all the weight in the back.
No, yeah. Corey's just working on restoring an original 59 millimeter hearse.
That's the big
Well,
surprise.
I mean, if you see that happen, then they say if I win the lottery, I'm not going to tell anyone, but there will be signs that would be
Yes.
the sign.
Yes, yes.
All right. Matt, do you want to talk about your gear there? Or?
Sure. All right. My gear. Over here, that is my Spirit Pack. That's the 85% size Spirit Pack that I have bulked up and added all kinds of extra things to kind of give it more of like a Ghostbusters the video game feel. Like a slime canister. It does change the lights in the cyclotron and all that. And that happened because my original pack that I built was a scratch built pack. I will try and find a photo for future Jay to put up here. It was one made out of hardware store parts and things like that, and it was just for Halloween. But then we started doing ghost busting full time, and it just didn't hold up. It wasn't really made for that. So that's about the time Spirit Halloween started making those packs, and those things were great for modding. They were just the perfect little base to work with to do all kinds of things you wanted. And that thing, I love that pack. I still bring it with me to all the events we go to. If I don't necessarily wear it, it is there because I put so much work into it. I want to show it off. But
Yeah,
then
it's got a lot of really cool add-ons and everything. I love it.
yeah, it's got all little bits of duct tape holding it together in spots.
It's got the mini puffs getting ready to pull stuff apart.
Yeah, that's become a theme with my pack because this guy also has one. This is the HasLab pack because when they were coming out, I was on the fence about whether or not I wanted to drop the money to get one. But then, like Corey, I'm also an Adam Savage fan, and he did a whole long video where he reviewed and looked in depth at them, and I'm like, I'm going to spend this money on this pack.
Yep, that's exactly what happened to me too. As soon as I saw that video, I was like, all right, I'm reserved.
I think I showed the
I was this
video.
close.
I think I showed the video to my parents to try to convince them. Made them sit through it.
I might have shown it to the wife too. Just like it looks really cool. It's a good price. I'm like, if I build it from scratch, a shell could be like $350. So yeah, I got that when they shipped, and then I just started doing little mods to it here and there. I kind of stripped it down and did a nice flat black paint coat on it, and then again, Adam Savage strikes again. I saw a pack he built where he had an open cyclotron concept, and I really loved the idea of that. I'm like, I could do something like that. So I found some 3D printed files of what's called the Arclotron. It's a cyclotron that fits in there, but it looks like Tony Stark's arc reactor. I'm like, ooh, that looks really cool. So I had one of our team members, Peter Natali, print it up for me because he has a 3D printer. It took a little while because he was currently doing prints for other people. But yeah, he printed it up. I found lights for it in kits for the spinning lights that work with the pack. And then I just kept adding to it. I've got the blue lights in there. I don't know, it's a cooling fan, I tell myself. Everything's got a story. It's got, the swirling light in there. I just wanted something that looked dangerous. It had so much power, it needed the lid off of it because the heat needed to escape, and I had to have all these extra add-ons to keep it functioning properly. And I still have plans for it. Pete also gifted me Winston's proton pistol from the IDW comics, which will eventually get added to that one when I have time. And other than that, I've got my kind of the Walmart Spirit Trap, like Corey's. I just haven't done a whole lot to it. It's got a paint job on it. That's about it. And the PKE meter, which is really the only other piece of gear I carry on my belt, because the one thing no one tells you about being a Ghostbuster is all that gear just bangs into everything if you're within 3 feet of a door frame.
Yeah, so. Well, we know that I had to finally change the hose on my thrower because the stock
kept knocking things over.
Yeah, the stock HasLab hose, kind of
stuck
sticks
out
way far out. So I would every time I turn around, I'd clear a table.
Yeah.
I'm not going to admit that I play with my toys at home, but
oh, I do.
My wife, my wife walked into the kitchen, and I may have been doing the dishes wearing my new proton pack, and she looked at me, and I said, "Before you say anything, I have a big event coming up, and I need to be spatially aware of everything so I don't smash into something and shatter." And she's like, "That's a good point. I can't argue with that."
That is a true fact, because sometimes you don't think about it when you have that thing on your back. Like, you're going to be bumping into things. You don't want to break your pack or anyone's skull.
I can't recall how many times my parents have told me to stop when I'm just like, they come home from work. They're like, "Hey guys, we're going to leave in like 2 minutes." And I'm like downstairs, like watching TV next to my proton pack in full gear, watching whatever it is I'm watching. And they're like, "You do know you can't wear that to dinner, right?" And I'm like, Why?
Where in the
It's
rules does
formal.
it say you can't?
Exactly. That's the way I see things. If it doesn't say I can't, there's a high percent chance I can.
Plus the jumpsuit, it's designed to get dirty. So if you're a messy eater, it protects your clothes underneath.
Yeah. And the jumpsuit's just comfy. I love the jumpsuit.
So,
Very cool.
yeah, my pack, it's close to done. I'm pretty happy with how it's shaped up. I
Yeah,
don't know how much
it's
more I wanna
definitely
put into it.
mesmerizing. I love the light effects that you added to it.
Yeah, your pack is definitely a fan favorite. I heard so many people at Saratoga like pointing that out because it's just so awesome looking the way it rotates like that and everything.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really happy. I wanted it to be unique because
I think that was a result also of kind of like what we talked about before about showing up events and seeing what somebody else did and you're like, oh, that's a great idea, and then you take it that much farther. Because if I do remember, I think you'd seen my lights and you're like, oh, I like what you did with the extra lights, and then I think it wasn't too long after where you had added
that is
those lights.
true. I can't let him outlight me.
Okay, it's okay. Corey will outlight us all.
Not with weight.
Nah, I'll just outweigh you. Yes.
And just to touch on what we were talking about too, with like uniforms, like I have the Frozen Empire jacket with the light in the pocket just because I saw it and I thought it was really great and I loved it. But yeah, so I have the jacket with the light in it just because I thought it looked cool and I really liked it, and I wanted something functional I could also wear in the wintertime.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's it's a cool backdrop.
Yeah. Well, I can't wear it unless it's below 20 degrees outside because it's that warm.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess that leaves me to talk about my gear.
Yes. So,
Your
Jay,
turn.
you want to tell us about your stuff?
Yeah. See, there it is, right there. It's all done.
Yay!
Yeah. No, I mean, like everybody else. I shouldn't say everybody else, but a lot of people. I started out with a 85% spirit pack, and I was very happy with it. I did. I gutted it. I had to change up the wand because that little wand that comes on that little spirit pack just it looked. It literally made me feel like I was carrying a toy, even though technically I am. But I wanted to get rid of that feeling. So it was before I had gotten into the realm of 3D printing also. So I had found a kit on eBay that somebody was selling that had all the pieces and parts for a thrower. So I got that, had to put it all together, find the lighting kit and everything, that I replaced the electronics inside the spirit pack, had to put all new electronics inside that wand. I mean, that was so long ago, I can't even remember. I want to say it was like a GB Fans kit, but I honestly can't remember. I would have to pull the pack apart and look at the board to see who had made it.
Well, yeah, because I know if I take the back off my spirit pack, I'm like, oh, that's what I did in there.
Yeah. Yes, it's definitely. Again, that was like some of my first. That was the first prop that I had ever built. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. For cosplay, it was the first prop because I have built countless props for like Halloween and things like that. But it was the first time I built like a replica prop from a movie or something.
Yeah, actually, I remember too that you were building yours before you like officially joined us, and you asked some questions, and I sent you back a lengthy email about things you could get to build a pack. And I'm like, but the spirit pack's a pretty good start if you want to go with that. Right,
yeah, because when literally, and we covered this one of the previous episodes where when I joined you guys, I had no idea about the whole Ghostbuster prop community and all that kinds of stuff. I had no idea where to go, what to find. I had nowhere to start. So I know I was like kind of borderline harassing you.
I tried to give you as much information as I could, but it was a lot. I know it's a lot to digest.
We may have lost Connor. His phone might have died.
Oh no!
The duct tape charger failed.
Yeah.
Or his mom unplugged his phone and called him down for dinner.
Yeah. So we'll see if he joins us back again. You had given me, a lot of information, a lot to work with, and I did. I started building all the pack and everything like that because I didn't want to show up at the first event and have nothing. I wanted to, show up with gear. So I found a suit. I, got all the patches, sewed them all on, found the pack, did all the. I think I had done all the work to it and everything like that before. Had the Alice frame mounted on it and everything before our first event. But then, like everybody else had said, then Hasbro came out with their HasLab pack, and I wasn't gonna go for it. I was like, I don't want to spend the money. And then, yeah, I saw Adam Savage's video, and that was just like, oh, man, really?
Adam Savage, I hope he gets like a stipend from HasLab because he sold a lot of proton packs.
That's the most brilliant marketing. Yeah, that's like the best marketing ever.
Well, I mean, he must because they brought him in for the Two in the Box campaign that they did. So I
can't wait to see his next video.
And we'll have to get him on the podcast to talk about how he loves seeing these props.
But yeah, so then I did. I wound up buying into the HasLab pack. I was amazed by the unboxing, the whole box that came. That the HasLab pack came in.
It was an experience.
It was. It was a great experience. I mean, you literally felt like you're almost like Indiana Jones opening up the tomb and like finding all this amazing
That's
stuff inside.
That's how I feel every day. I'll have Future Jay put up a photo of me in my Jones gear here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we have video of Matt cracking whips too. There's videos of me. There's videos of me doing that too, but not so good. I got the HasLab pack. The only thing that I had planned to do to it was add an Alice frame because I thought out of the box it was perfect. But then I think Connor had mentioned it, it was great to finally change it from batteries to a battery pack, which it was because I was like, all right, so that was the first internal upgrade that I did. Because
I second that.
it was, I remember the first time buying batteries for it. I'm in CVS and I'm buying, I think it took 4 D-cell batteries, and the guy at the counter's like, "What are you using these in?" Because really, what uses D-cell batteries anymore? I think mag lights, flashlights were like the only thing, and now they're probably all rechargeable.
Yeah, probably.
And, I told him, I was like, it's actually for a Ghostbusters proton pack replica. It's like, really? That's awesome. So I upgraded to the rechargeable pack, and I just kept looking at the pack sitting on the floor and just trying to like brainstorm different ideas on what to do, because I wanted to. I'm not somebody who wants to make it screen accurate. I like to change it and make it mine. Do little tweaks here, do little tweaks there. And one of the things that always kept drawing my eyes were the rubber lines, the hoses that went between the different fittings across the front of the pack. And I was like, man, it would be awesome if I can get these to light up to like kind of show like, like maybe like plasma or something, high current electricity flowing through them or something like that. And then I kept trying to figure out how. And it ended up being such an easy solution that it was ridiculous. I actually wound up replacing all those lines with phone charger. You see them everywhere, just the light up phone chargers. As soon as you plug them in, they light up. And I just had to make sure they stayed lit. And, some would shut off if it wasn't charging. A lot of them stayed lit. So I thought that really made the pack pop. because I was able to cut off each of the rubber hose ends of the original lines, drill them out so I can snake the phone charger cables through them so I can reuse those fittings and everything. And the hardest part about that was probably one of the fittings in the center of the pack, and you have to like drill through multiple layers of plastic and corners to try to snake the wires through. I remember that being an absolute nightmare. And then that led to one thing to another, and then I just I came across GP Star, and I was watching their videos and seeing all the options that they offered. Like they actually have to give you this big huge book and to read through all the different menus and things like that, because there's so many different selections and options that you can do. It's crazy. And I still don't understand half the functions on it, because you get so lost. So it's like, all right, I find a function, I'm going to keep it like that. I think Joe has a GP Star in his kit too, so I'll have to email him or text him once in a while and be like, hey, how do I get into this setting again? Because I can't figure it out, because it's
somehow Joe has all that stuff memorized.
Yeah, I don't get it, but I mean,
Joe had a. Oh, sorry.
No,
I think Joe had some ideas and emailed it to the maker of that, and they actually implemented it too.
He did.
Yeah, I think he might be the reason they actually have like a field manual for it now.
Yeah, I think so.
But then I also added an end filter kit, because I was like, all right, I gotta have smoke. I gotta have some, so then added this end filter kit, and I'll have to make sure Future J posts a picture of the inside of my pack, because there's literally, when you first get it, there's a lot of room inside this pack.
Yes,
there's no room whatsoever inside my pack right now. Just about every square inch is full of cables, amplifiers, end filters, speakers. You name it. It's crammed in there. Like, I'm surprised I was able to get the backboard on as tight and snug as I could. I thought I was gonna have to build like a little spacer to give myself a little extra breathing room. But it was a fun build. I have a lot of fun with it. It is heavy as heck. It's nice to switch back to the Spirit Pack every once in a while, because it's probably about half the weight. So, my back thanks me. Did do a trap. I bought one of the Spirit traps, which was kind of like the Walmart traps, except it did not have a pedal attached to it. So I had tried. I successfully attached and put a pedal on the trap and got it to work a few times, but it's highly unreliable. And it kind of got kicked into the corner, and someday I'll revisit it and try to make it as cool looking as Corey's, and it's functional.
We all want to be as cool as Corey.
That's why Corey has a whole line of gear, of clothing, and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's just because I make goofy faces in front of the camera.
Mackenzie brand for the discriminating Ghostbuster.
Although I do have an ongoing gigameter. I 3D printed one, it's going on a couple years ago now, and I have pretty much probably 95% of all the pieces and parts that go in it. But for some reason, I'm scared. Like, I started putting it together, and I don't know why, but I work on it a little bit, and then I have to put it down and go away, and then I forget about it. So maybe someday
that one quite literally has a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
How are you going to do the spinning lights? And do you have a plan for that yet? Or?
I think that may be why he hasn't finished it yet.
Actually, that is not as difficult as you think. Like, there's an actual mount that goes inside where you can slide a gear-driven motor. I forget what it's called, but it fits in there perfect, and you actually slides into it. But to try to come up with the clear dome to go over that is, I know some people have like vacuum formed or like created a wooden mold and then put a piece of plastic over it and stuck it in their oven and let it melt over it to create the shape. But the mechanism to make the antennas swing back and forth is kind of scared me a little bit, and so I don't know. I'll revisit it someday when I get some courage, and
I can't wait to see that. That's my favorite GB2 prop. So can't wait to see what you do.
You're gonna have to, because it's probably gonna be a while.
I look forward to it.
I'm more prone to I'm gonna go drop the transmission in Slime 1. Yeah, that seems easier. Oh, and then I have the portable containment unit. I forgot that was a fun little build too.
That's great.
That thing is awesome.
Slime 1.
I wish we had, like everything else, I wish we had more room at events to where I can actually bring it in and use it, because it's functional. You can actually turn it on, the lights flash, you can open the door, the light turns red, you slide a trap in, the light flashes, saying cleaning trap, and it's got sound effects, and actually smoke comes out. And then after a certain amount of time, the light goes green. Trap's clean.
Trap is clean. Yeah, that's a great prop. I love that thing.
So, but yeah, its home is pretty much in the back of Slime 1, so it really only gets out when we have outdoor events or car shows or something like that. I think that kind of wraps up our prop talk anyway. Well, yeah, Connor keeps sending messages saying his phone overheated and I guess went into critical shutdown. So what's Corey?
It was a
Corey's
great plan
scheming
until it wasn't.
something.
Always practice proper safety. Never look down the barrel.
Funny you mention that. I have a great picture of your brother doing that.
Yep.
And I've been waiting for just the right moment to share it with everybody.
Future Jay.
Future Jay, get that picture ready, and we got to show how not to hold your particle thrower.
Okay, everybody, that is going to wrap up this episode of Hudson Valley Slime Time. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us at podcast@hvgb.org. If you'd like to follow what we're doing, all the goings-on for Hudson Valley Ghostbusters, you can go to our website, hvgb.org, where we have our calendar and all our upcoming events. If you are listening to this podcast and you are not in the Hudson Valley area, but you are looking for a Ghostbusters group, you can go to the website whoyagonacall.org and find a local Ghostbuster group in your area.
And Corey, you want to let us know about our socials?
You can also find us on Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. We are still in Facebook jail. Cue the animation. But we're still working on that, so no Facebook.
Hopefully we get that back, because that's definitely one of our big sources of communications with the general public. And also, if you would like, please go to our Redbubble site. That's redbubble.com. In the search bar, put in HVGB, and up should pop all our really cool gear that we have. Like I said, you can find hats like this. We have all different logos. We have Corey gear. Get
yourself some Corey gear.
Yes, get yourself some Corey gear. It's T-shirts.
Can I have his face on a duvet on a shower curtain?
Yes, you can. There's shower curtains. There's clocks. There's mugs and cups and blankets, pillows, bags. Phone cases. All kinds of gear on there. So please, HVGB in the search bar at redbubble.com. I think we're pretty much wrapping up. We had a great show today. I want to thank Corey for joining us. Also want to thank Connor. Sorry we lost you. I know you had problems with your Apple phone there. Maybe one day you'll switch to Android and alleviate these problems.
Had to get that in.
The debate continues.
Come on, it's fun. It's all in fun and games. But thank you guys for coming on. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Once again, my name's Jason.
And I'm Matt.
Yeah, so everybody, thanks for joining us. Guys, light them up. Until next time, have fun, play with slime.
Okay, so I'll see you later, huh? I'll give you a call.